Hey, can we get a sick beat here? I have a Patreon. Patreon.com/Matthew. There you can find bonus content from our podcast. Both the Rip Wits for Paleobites. For Paleobites, we discuss pop culture, fishing prehistoric animals. And this month, we're talking about 10,000 BC. 10,000 BC. Yes, the World Network film. It's great. Everyone hates it, but we love it. It's about cavemen, the mammoths, building pyramids. Link is in the description. Thank you for your support. Have a wonderful day. Ooh. Sort of like a freelance alternative style beatboxing sort of thing. Yeah, this was totally worth the 20 minutes of edit time it took. Totally worth it.
Roar, growl, snarl, bellow.
Welcome to Paleobites, the podcast that smells like a herd of longnecks digesting their food. My name is Matthew Dahl, and each week I and a rotating series of guest co-hosts talk about and rate a genus of prehistoric animal, be it dinosaur, mammal, arthropod, and so on. This week I'm joined by the expert of the bush tit. And that's not as dirty as it sounds as the type of birds. Natasha Crack, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well.
That's good.
And yes, the bush tit are a type of bird. They've been spotted in Colorado recently. Apparently,
Yep.
with all the climate changing, they've decided that Colorado's good.
Yeah, I've heard cardinals are on their way, too. Like, we'll get them in, 2030 or something.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Cardinals.
They're beautiful. When I went
They are, and they're another corvid.
Yeah, they're bright red. Oh, they're so pretty.
They are.
Like, when I went to college my freshman year in Hastings, Nebraska, before I went to UNC where I met you, one time there was a cardinal just sitting on the branch, and I took a picture of it. It was so pretty. Just
Nice.
deep.
Depending on the time of year I visit my family in Minnesota,
Yeah.
cardinals are up there.
Yeah, they're so beautiful birds. A deep, saturated red.
Yeah, and every time I go up there, I will look up YouTube videos to listen to their vocalizations, because sometimes, even though they're bright freaking red, you can't see them, but if you track them with sound, you can at least have an idea of where to look.
Right.
I do that with our local Blue Jays. But Blue Jays, like cardinals, are corvids, and therefore they are little
But yes. Okay, here's a nice-related question then, because this is a nice-related question, technically. If you could have any bird species come up to Colorado, and I mean modern, which ones would you want and why?
Oh, that's interesting, because we have a pretty wide variety of birds.
Yeah.
But I would love to see cardinals around here.
Yeah.
Maybe at the higher elevations where it stays colder.
That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to think, what are some, truly outrageous ones? What are those ones that build those nests that are enormous? Bowerbirds? Is that what those are called?
Well, bowerbirds build some pretty obnoxious nests on the ground. Believe it or not, bald eagles build some pretty obnoxious nests on their own.
Oh, that's cool.
If you go over to Stanley Lake Regional Park near where I live,
Yeah.
most of the area is fenced off, but there are places along the street where you can pull your car over and park and look at the nest of the Stanley Lake eagles that have been nesting there for quite a long time. And
That's cool.
honestly, it's hard not to see the nest with how big it is.
Oh, no, they're enormous. Like, eagles are just such enormous birds.
But if we wanted to bring an obnoxious-sized eagle, okay, let's bring the harpy eagle.
Yeah, I was going to say the harpy eagle could
That thing preys on monkeys.
I was going to say it could grab small dogs off of people's lawns.
We already have problems in my neighborhood with red-tailed hawks targeting chihuahuas and other smaller dogs.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Like, a harpy eagle might take on, even a medium-sized dog.
Yeah, a harpy eagle might take on a corgi.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like corgis. My youngest brother has a corgi that I adore.
Oh, what a way to go, though. The corgi's just walking, the harpy eagle comes down. I shouldn't laugh. That sounds terrible, but...
I mean, sometimes dark humor has its place.
I saw this TikTok. Yes, I've fallen into the TikTok wagon. Every video is so dumb, but I have to keep scrolling.
I don't know. Sometimes I look at you on YouTube and they do compilations of Gordon Ramsay TikToks, because apparently he's on TikTok.
Oh, that's what a lot of people
and
are.
He's ripping on people's horrid cooking
Of
skills.
course he would.
I'm no chef myself, but I can cook better than half those people.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, you're more of a chef than I am, but no.
Yeah,
so
but I would never claim that I could work in a restaurant.
There's this TikTok where it's like, "What is your dog thinking?" And it's like, it's this corgi when he takes him out of the car. He's like, "Spaceship, spaceship, I'm going to space." Gets the leash. Yes, my spacesuit. Time to be an astronaut. And then he gets in the trunk of the car. Bye, Earth, to infinity and beyond. T-minus 10 seconds.
If that's the corgi I think it is, then they also make the rounds on Facebook, and that corgi has a partner.
Yeah. Aw, that's cute.
And every time they bark or do something, the person puts a voice over it with random little word.
Oh, I love that. Well, like, remember that ultimate dog tease? That was a viral video from years back. It was like the dog was like, "Yes, what was in there?" It was like I got some food here. You want some? You know the meat throwers, right? Yes, the maple kind, yeah. And then it's like, "Oh, no, I would like that. Me, so I ate it." And the dog's like, "Oh, you're kidding me." His lips are actually moving. They just added that to it. Like,
that's fun.
Anyway, speaking again, these transitions are so terrible. Speaking of none of this,
Yes, aren't we talking about a member of the crocodile family?
yes, we are. Oh, you know, crocodile meat's all right, or am I just thinking alligator meat? I don't know.
I would imagine so.
This isn't actually a crocodile. It's more closely related to crocodiles than it is to dinosaurs. It's Postosuchus, crocodile from Post, which refers to Post, Texas, near where its fossils are first uncovered. Personally, I would like to live in Post, Texas, as in a post-Texas time where we as a society have left Texas behind to deal with its crap. Oh, is that not what it means? Shame.
Texas is going nowhere. I got a few friends down there.
Yeah, man. Man. All right, so type is a Ryosuchid, a group of archosaurs more closely related to crocodiles than dinosaurs. So back then, the line was very blurred. Just some of these crocodilians were basically dinosaurs. It's crazy.
For an amateur, and I'm including myself in this, telling some of these crocodiles apart from dinosaurs is downright impossible.
Have you heard of Poposaurus?
What?
All right, let me
Who got bored?
It is a crocodilian. I swear to you, it is a crocodilian. But look at this thing. That is a dinosaur, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure that's a dinosaur.
Nope, it's a Poposaurus. It's a more closely related to the crocodiles than it is to dinosaurs.
Okay.
Oh, man. Okay, save that for the Poposaurus episode coming up. All right, so Postosuchus size, it was 16 to 23 feet, so that's 5 to 7 meters long, 550 to 600 pounds, and 250 to 300 kilograms. Pretty big, scary boy.
That's a pretty impressive size crocodilian.
Yep. Diet carnivore. Time late Triassic, 221 to 203 million years ago. Location all throughout North America. It was described in 1985. Pop culture appearances, Walking with Dinosaurs is probably its most famous appearance, but it also appears in the 2008 Turok reboot video game, as Jurassic World the game, Jurassic World Alive, and I also remember it as being one of the creatures you can build in the Lego Dinosaurs set from 2002. Remember the Lego Dinosaurs?
Vaguely.
They were like the ones where like you had like a basic body plan and like these pieces they could switch around, so like each set become 4 different species.
Oh, interesting.
So the Postosuchus was in the one where you could mix it around to make it like either a Mosasaurus or a Dimetrodon or I think an Iguanodon, which obviously had a different head.
Yeah, that's quite the range of species there in that one set.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it was so cool. And this line of sets, using some of the sets, I made a little Lego film with it back in the day when I was with Lego Studios that ended up being the basis for Megazoic. It all started from there, and I deeply, deeply thank this toy line for that. The Triassic period may have had the first dinosaurs, and there were some plenty large ones like Plateosaurus and Liliensternus, but overall dinosaurs were not the rulers of the earth just yet. After such an enormous mass extinction that was the Permian, hardly anything ruled, as a matter of fact. The ecosystem was a hodgepodge of different creatures from all different parts of the animal kingdom that managed to survive the cataclysm. Or really all parts of the class of Reptilia and their distant, very, very distant synapsid cousins. If anything ruled, though, it was the archosaurs, the clade of diapsids that include the crocodilians, pterosaurs, and dinosaurs.
Goes to show how old the crocodilians line really is.
Yes, and when someone says, like, crocodiles are modern dinosaurs, I mean, other than birds, they're not far off, because they're more closely related to dinosaurs than, like, other reptiles, like lizards or snakes, so... It's pretty cool.
And snakes are relatively recent in the geologic timeline, if I remember right.
Yes, Cretaceous. Squamata is the order that lizards and snakes are from. It's also the order that Mosasaurus is in. Very closely related to lizards and snakes, the Mosasaurus is.
Nice.
Yeah. So there are all different types of archosaurs of all different types, but this is the period where the crocodilians and the clade Pseudosuchia really, really got their chance to shine. Postosuchus was a member of the Ryosuchid family, a fascinating group of crocodilians that proved just how diverse the line can be when it's really trying. They all walked with their legs directly underneath, but not sprawled out like modern crocodiles.
So likely they were pretty darn fast.
Well, and also quite a few of them were bipedal. Postosuchus
That's
included.
horrifying.
Yes, Postosuchus was bipedal. That four-legged depiction in Walking with Dinosaurs is now outdated, being that Postosuchus was basically Triassic T-Rex.
Oh, lovely. Good thing us humans weren't around. We'd be Postosuchus food.
We'd be dead post-haste. The jokes, the terrible jokes. This show's only just a little bit away from like giving out stickers that with a fruit on it, being like, "You're doing grape. You're doing very well."
I mean, you could put a baryonyx on that.
Oh, smart. You're doing Barry Onyx well. I was like, what? All right, so back in its time, though, it lived with the tiny early dinosaur Coelophysis, other non-dinosaur archosaurs like Desmatosuchus, Rudiodon, and Trilophosaurus. That's right, folks. You've heard of Monolophosaurus. You've heard of Dilophosaurus. Now we've got Trilophosaurus. We just need a Tetralophosaurus and Pentalophosaurus to complete the quinfecta.
You know that they could still be discovered.
Granted, none of these were related to each other. Monolophosaurus was a tetranarian theropod on the branches leading up to the megalosaurs. Dilophosaurus was a coelophysid, and Trilophosaurus was an early archosauromorph cladistically before the split between crocodiles, dinosaurs, and pterosaurs. But still, I find it fun to have sequential creature names.
I mean, we gotta let the scientists have their fun somewhere.
Yeah.
When they're not plotting our doom.
Well, speaking of plotting our doom and having their fun, you know there's a dinosaur literally called Zool?
Somebody loved the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, no, it's named after that. Yeah, Zuul. And because of that, it's the last dinosaur alphabetically, too. Until someone discovers a Zygotesaurus or something.
It could happen.
I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, Postosuchus was the top predator of its day, back when dinosaurs were still trying to get their claws through the door. What an interesting world the Triassic was. This wasn't in the show proper, but in the book version of Walking with Dinosaurs by Tim Haynes, which really expands the events of the show, it can get really quite brutal. A Postosuchus has a brief battle with a Plateosaurus.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Why didn't they animate that?
I don't know, because they're like the two titans of the Triassic. They're just at it. Let them fight.
Fight!
Just again, Ken Watanabe. Let them fight. So now, granted, Plateosaurus was only known from Europe, while Postosuchus was from North America. But this was Pangea times. Creatures could wander all over. Let me have my clashing titans, okay?
Right? Those are fun. Come on. Our culture loves giant monster battles.
Yeah, like even like the gatekeeping of the dinosaur community sometimes. It was like, oh, but you only like this, like because like they get on to like Jurassic World for not being accurate. It's like, why do you like Jurassic?
Fun.
It's a movie. Like that prologue is so cool, and yeah, it does have a T-Rex fighting a Giganotosaurus, but it's so cool.
Again, those movies are fun, and sometimes they inspire people to go into paleontology.
They do, and I don't know. I just like. Again, like the fact that they include all these different dinosaur species in the newer ones, like Sinoceratops and Nasutoceratops and Moros intrepidus, it shows to me they truly love dinosaurs. They just don't let scientific accuracy get in the way of a good story. I might have said this in the podcast before, but I stand by it. It's just like on Twitter, especially, like the gatekeeping of the dinosaur community is a bit too much.
I mean,
we're dino fans. We're supposed to be chill.
For people like me, I'm not a paleontologist, but I appreciate the scientific side, but I also appreciate the fun side.
Yes.
Let a T-Rex fight a mosasaur.
Yeah. Oh, my T-Rex fighting. Oh, that's a dead T-Rex.
But you see my point.
Yes.
It would be a fun, obnoxious animation.
And you know what? I had an idea for a fight. It was like a T-Rex because it means like Tyrant Lizard King versus a Rajasaurus, which means King Lizard, but like in India. Now, granted, that's the T-Rex's fight to lose because the Rajasaurus is so little. Like it's not that little. It's like a little bit smaller than Carnotaurus, but.
Still, though,
it's just two kings. It's like that scene.
I could critique the ever-living out of every historical fiction movie, and it wouldn't get me anywhere.
Like in Pirates of the Caribbean, where they had those muskets, and they just kept firing them over and over again, because that's how muskets worked.
Oh yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean is historically inaccurate on basically every front, but it's fun.
It's fun.
When I go to watch a fiction movie, I don't expect historical or paleontological accuracy.
Exactly. And like I made a joke. It was like, oh man, you're gonna get really pissed off when you find out that pandas can't do kung fu either. And they're like, oh, that's not the same. Like, why do you think that's like? How is it not the same? They're both franchises meant for entertainment.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, if I'm gonna watch a documentary, yes, I expect
yes, obviously
more
then.
accuracy.
Yes.
And it's nice when they touch on the old ideas.
Oh, I should have brought this up. There's a big controversy of the Walking with Dinosaurs scene of Postosuchus where it's shown urinating like a mammal. Just like a stream of pee going down. It's like, crocodiles can't do that. Puts the pee in Postosuchus. Anyway.
But a documentary versus a feature film on the big screen, I expect shenanigans.
You might as well get on to Star Wars for all the space stuff that gets inaccurate.
Right. Considering what we know about astrophysics these days versus back then.
Yeah.
Star Wars is a mess, but it's fun.
It's fun. It's so fun to see.
I love it.
It's
It's
so-
an escape fantasy
It's
for
so
me.
fun to see them going through that asteroid belt where the asteroids are so close together, they're all crashing into each other and they're crashing into TIE fighters. And you're like, yes, yeah, I know. Look, from a realistic standpoint, this asteroid field will be nothing but dust after a couple hundred years because of all the collisions. But it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Creates a-
and you can't. Sometimes you just gotta let people have their fun.
Anyways, Postosuchus.
Which animal are we gonna have it fight?
Plateosaurus. I thought we
Okay.
already established that.
Yes.
Okay, so who?
Somebody animate this, please.
Okay, Plateosaurus is bigger, but Postosuchus has more of a jaw, like, and more weapons. I guess Plateosaurus might have had. Oh no, I'm thinking of Iguanodon. Didn't have the thumb spikes.
Well, I'd also wonder what each had for agility.
Both are probably not the most agile creatures.
The more agile one is likely gonna have an edge. though.
Yeah, well then maybe the Postosuchus just because it's smaller, but
Maybe.
it's also like heavily built.
Yeah, so maybe it's got some ramming power.
I don't know. Well,
And here we are discussing its stats.
yeah,
people.
let's see. Yeah, what's its mana power? What's its dexterity?
What's its stat for sheer bulk?
550 to 600 pounds is what I said here or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, 4-ton Plateosaurus. I don't think Postosuchus has a chance actually. All right, well let's rate Postosuchus 1 out of 65 million. I'm gonna rate like 50 million. It's cool. Triassic
It is
T-Rex.
a pretty cool creature. Yeah, let's stick with a solid 50.
I mean, there's some other ones like Prestosuchus. Have you heard of Prestosuchus?
Not yet.
Now you have. It's a great magician, that one.
So in D&D, it's getting some magical capabilities.
Yes, exactly. And like it had a hat that could pull, not a bunny because there were no bunnies back then. That'd be ridiculous.
How about a
But
Gallimimus?
no bunny back then. I'm thinking like a little cynodont.
Oh, okay.
Little stem mammal thing.
And its hat is clearly a hollowed out log, right?
Yeah, obviously. There was no hats back then, but it was still a magician. So, okay. All right, well, that's it for this week. If you want to get a hold of the show, you can contact us at matchd@matthewdoncreator.com for your general questions to either co-host. You can follow me personally at MatthewDonCreator on Facebook, at MatthewDon64 on Twitter, and MatthewDon64 on Instagram. What else is there? What else do I do? I do this every episode, and I'm just like, I don't know the routine. It's been over 100 episodes, and I'm still like, what do I do? Okay. Oh, that's right. I have a book series on Amazon Megazoic available for print and Kindle. Absolutely no Postosuchus in it. That was a bit before this time of Megazoic. Would have been cool, though. Imagine it with lasers. Anything with lasers is cool, though.
Basically, yeah.
Anything.
Our 90s are showing.
Pew, 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 roar. Also, I have a podcast called The Writ Wit, where two twits talk about writing. It's a writing podcast. Go check it out if you want. Also, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/MatthewDonald. Lots of good stuff there. Bonus episodes about prehistoric popular culture. One of these days, we'll talk about Walking with Dinosaurs and mention the Postosuchus there, I guess.
Ah, that sounds good.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, that's it for this week. As we say at the end of every episode of Paleo Bites, what does a crocodile do? Like,
Sometimes they hiss.
that sounds terrifying. That sounds terrifying.